Good evening, Mr. Ying. This is the second report from Mark Godfrey Technology Consulting. Like the first report presented to you, you can see myself on the screen as well as the report. This is so you can stay on the same page, literally, and you should have the report directly in front of you. Alright, let's jump in. We begin our report with the work breakdown structure. This is just a bit of a plan for us. We know how much time to dedicate to each of the tasks. It's also an added bonus for you so you can see exactly how much you've paid for. Now, following this, we have the 2B process flow diagram. You will remember from our first assignment, we had the current business processes, how everything was passed by hand. This is an updated process flow diagram. You'll see we've incorporated the system that we wish to implement for you. Everything goes through the system with this new implementation. Online orders, straight to the system. The sales assistant logs every order they receive straight to the system. The cook, when they're updating ready status, order status, straight to the system. Everything is recorded there, saves you paperwork, saves your employees time, and it makes your tax accountant very happy. Following on from this, we have the organizational change. We have listed all the business impacts, be it to your overall business on how it will be impacted by the implementation of the system by buying new hardware, making sure you have efficient internet. We have the staff impacts, just how they will need to be training, their adaptations to the system. Customer impacts, how they will have to adapt in order to utilize the system from the convenience of their own home when they order online. We have recommended how to smooth over the transition of these impacts. I will point out we do highly recommend you implement an advertising campaign. We will come up with some recommendations just to get it out in the community that you have this system in place. This brings us to the screen design. We built these two screen designs from the user case stories from the first report. They met all the acceptance criteria that we had from the system analysis. We have the online ordering screen, followed by the system order log. The order log is bare bones, basic, it's efficient and descriptive, but it's not fancy. That's on purpose because it's only for yourself and your employees to see. You don't need to waste money making it fancy. The online ordering screen, however, is a bit fancier because it's there to impress your customers who want to be enticed to order online, and it's a part of the acceptance criteria. We follow this with a list of business rules. This isn't per se how we want the screens to be programmed, but more rules in place. For example, on the order log screen, only the sales assistant can actually put in an order into the logging system. The cook can't log any orders, but equally only the cook can say he's cooking an order from his system in the kitchen. Things like that. Moving on, we explain why we came up with the design. We have a much more in-depth acceptance criteria. We had a smaller acceptance criteria from the first report. This is much more in-depth and highlights exactly why these are acceptable for the users, and it will entice the users who will be happy to use the systems that we are proposing. Next, we come to the application architecture. This is designed to be from the point of view of the customer ordering online, be it on any personal device from computer, mobile phone, laptop, desktop. It shows the operating systems, the software involved. It's all pretty basic stuff. Everybody these days has this at home, and that's all they need to make use of your system to order online. I will point out we have added database servers into your required architecture. This is just a safety net. If anything were to happen to your business location, like a power failure, you would have a backup offsite which would store all your business data and you would not lose a thing. Now, following this, we have our report to yourself where we highlight how we went about choosing a supplier for the software development of the system. We did this by gathering all the analysis. We put that analysis into a system design with proper documentation. We then put that documentation out there with a request to tender. This is where all these software development companies see our design, come up with their own approaches. They have a bidding war with each other. where they offer the best, or try to offer the better prices, timelines, aftermarket services, all that, and we had to weigh up which company was the best designed in order to implement the system. We decided not to go with the cheapest. Cheapest is not always best. We went for a middle of the range system because they have a much higher reputation with quality assurance, and we want your system to work first go. Finally, the method we are proposing, if you choose to implement our recommendations, is an agile method approach. Agile method is where we have iterations, which are usually 2 to 4 weeks. Weeks. You get the bare bones of the system, and it keeps you involved at all times. If you want something changed, it can be changed in the next iteration. It's much more customer friendly where you stay involved. Had we gone the waterfall approach, you and I would have designed a system at the start. You would have had no more input. We would have made the system in a series of steps, completing it in one big chunk near the end, and you may not have even liked the system by the time it came out. Had that been the case, it would have cost a lot more money to go back and alter the system. Agile format is a lot cheaper for you and safer in the long run. We hope you take these recommendations on board, and thank you again for your time.